everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate and this is Diamond Painting and Dr. Pepper, and I'm coming at you today with a WIP Chat. But before we get into the kit, I'm going to throw us back in time to do a couple unboxings with you of some fun things that I received this week. So I'm gonna put that footage in right now. I am very excited to get into this box with you, so let's get started opening it. So yeah, when these books were announced, I was really excited until I found out they were UK only. Like, you couldn't have them shipped if you were in any other country, and I was really sad because these are beautiful, beautiful books, and I managed to find a copy on this UK store called Blackwell's. Only of the first book of the series. There are 2 books in the series so far, and they did both of them this way, but I was only able to find the first one, so that's okay. We'll just go with the first one and be happy we got any of them. But these editions were done by Galance, and they are the most beautiful books I think I've ever seen in my life. So, oh my gosh. If you've never read this series, The Name of the Wind, by Patrick Rothfuss, it's called the Kingkiller Chronicle. I don't know whether to recommend it to you or not, because they are some of the most beautifully written books that I've ever read, but the third one has been pending for about 13 years now, and some people think it's never going to happen. So it's currently and may continue to be an unfinished series. So I guess it just depends on your personality, whether you're okay never knowing the ending. But oh my gosh, so the cover is just gold foil, and some things are embossed, and the side here has this beautiful lute on it, and so I'm really happy to have it because I don't have a physical copy of this book at all because I read them on Audible, and they're really good audiobooks. But I'm really happy to have this beautiful book, and I thought I would open it with you guys so that you could see how pretty it is. Here's the map, which is really cool. Having only listened to it on Audible, I haven't really seen it, so it's really cool to be able to like put picture with the picture I have in my mind, I guess. Yeah, let's oh wow. So the inside cover has this beautiful design on it also. So pretty. Okay, I'll get back to the diamond painting content, but I just wanted to open that with you guys because I do talk a lot about books on my channel, and this is one of my favorite series, and I was just really excited to open this book with you. So I hope you enjoyed that little interlude. Back to the diamond painting. Hey guys, it's a new day and a different package that I want to open with you. So last week, Muni Maid had posted that she was selling some oopsie trays that had just some minor defects and stuff, and I managed to catch that notification before they all sold out. So I grabbed one, and I'm really excited because anytime I can catch a Muni Maid tray, I feel very lucky. So I have no idea what's in this or what I'm gonna get, but I'm really excited to open it and see. Here's her thank you card and her business card. If you guys haven't ever ordered from Muni Maid, she makes the best trays. To be honest, I haven't bought many different kinds of trays, so take that with a grain of salt, but I love Mini Maids trays. Oh my gosh, what's this? Oh, look! I got a cute little pen. I love that. That's so cute. So I guess that's a freebie that just came with this tray. So that's nice. Oh, I'm so excited. So I ordered a large fancy color set tray. So I'm very excited to see what it is. I don't have many colors. I have 3 large Mini Maid trays. I have a pink one and a strawberry banana magic color, and then like a glitter red and green one. So I don't have whatever the color this is. Oh, I think it's the watermelon color. Yay! Oh my gosh! Okay, so you can see, like, I don't know if you could see that. There's like the finish isn't 100% even there, and I think that's part of why this is an oopsie tray, but it's still completely functional. Oh, I love it! Yay! Look how pretty this is. So we have like a maroon on one side, and then you can see it's green on the other side. So pretty! And it says Mini Maid. I am very excited! Yeah, so there's another unboxing for you. Next I should be coming back with the rest of the WIP Chat. So thanks for hanging out while I unbox this exciting package, and we'll continue on with the video. Okay, so welcome back. It is now time to get started on the WIP Chat for the week, and I'm going to go ahead and use my new Mini Maid tray that we just unboxed together. And I'm actually using a pen this time to kind of switch it up that I got from a friend, and so I'm not sure who the original creator of it is, but it matches this kit perfectly, and so that is the one I'm going to be using for this video. I'm still using a Diamond Art Club Multiplacer. I think this is a 6 size. I have been kind of testing out which ones are my favorite to use, and I think I'm landing on the 8 placer being my favorite, but I'm trying the 6 this time again to see how I'm feeling about that. I'm kind of jumping back and forth between different ones to figure out what my preferred is. So let's go ahead and get started. How's your week been? I hope you guys have been having a good one. Okay. I apologize for my naked nails. If you didn't watch last week's WIP Chat, you might not know, but we had our mail stolen, and just one of the packages that happened to be in there at the time that the mail was stolen was my new sets of nails, and I haven't replaced them yet. I did, however, look into filing a report with the post office. I did do that online, and it said I was supposed to receive a response within 1 to 3 days. And I believe it's been more than that, and I haven't received anything, so I'm really not sure if there's a way to, like, I don't know, find out what the status is. Because I have a case number or whatever, but I don't know who to send it to get an update. Like, their website doesn't have any email address you can just email. You have to submit a form. So if you want to find out an update on a form you submitted, I don't know how to do that. But I've checked my spam and done searches in my email in case I somehow missed it coming in, and it hasn't. So I'm not sure if anything will come of that. I might just be out my $40 and I'll have to reorder nails again. But I'm kind of waiting to see if I can get my money back first, because that would be ideal. Kind of a bummer, because I do miss having some fun nails to wear. But it's not the worst thing that could have happened, I guess. Could have been something more important, like, oh my gosh, if the theft had happened when my book from the UK got here, I would have been so sad. Or even my Muni Made tray, because this is like, it was an oopsie and not something that could just be remade for the same cost. And yeah, I'd just have been out. So I'm really glad. Now, whenever I get a notification that one of my packages has arrived, I immediately drop everything I'm doing and go to the mailbox just in case. So I guess I've learned my lesson there. Anyway, I'm filming this on Friday evening, which I'm feeling pretty good about being on time with my filming so that I don't have to rush my editing tomorrow. And it's kind of nice because my son Casey is not here right now. He's spending the night at my dad's house after not seeing him for the past couple weeks, because my dad actually decided to test out his new RV and take a road trip down to see some of his friends in Northern California. And if you listen to my WIP Chat about when we went to get the RV, you'll understand why I was a little bit nervous about this, because on the way home from picking up the RV when he bought it, it wouldn't start, and it broke down kind of in the middle of the road, and we had to have it towed to his house. But since then, he has had it looked at by a shop, and they did some things to it, and he actually made it all the way down to his friend's house in California without any issues and back. So that's awesome, because it would have been really sad if he bought that and then didn't get to use it like he wanted to. So I'm really glad that that worked out. And he had such a good time going to visit his friends, and just being able to stop at a rest stop and sleep in the RV on his way down and not have to worry about trying to get a hotel or trying to drive straight through, because he could just stop whenever he wanted to and sleep right there in his vehicle. And yeah, it worked out. But anyway, he was gone for a good couple weeks, so Casey was really excited to see him today when he came over after Casey got off school. And so Casey went to spend the night at his house because they have some shows to catch up on and things they like to do together. So we're glad he's back. We missed him. He wants to take Casey bike riding, I think, but I'm not sure Casey will want to go because he recently started a new semester at school. He's in high school. And so they recently started a new semester, and he's been put into, against his will, a weight training class, which I know that PE is a requirement, but he didn't get to pick what he'd want to do for PE, and they just decided to throw him into weight training. And I think this is the second week of classes in the new semester, and all I've been hearing about is how Casey's muscles are sore and his legs are broken and his arms hurt, and he is, sorry for bumping, he is not a fan of weight training. But I guess it's good for him to get some physical exercise in, and I don't know, at least at least he doesn't have to play on any kind of team for this, because that's one of the things he hates about PE is having to do any kind of sports, because he doesn't like playing on a team and trying to make sure he doesn't let anybody down. He just gets really anxious with team sports. So yeah, I think he should take it as a win that they didn't put him into anything even more disagreeable to him. Of course, then they did the added insult of also making him take health. So he has both health and a PE class, which usually when I was in high school, I remember you had to be taking one or the other, but not usually both at the same time. And it could just be because last semester they didn't put him in either one, so now he's playing catch up and having to be in both. But yeah, those are his least favorite classes for sure. This week has been very busy at work. In fact, the past couple weeks have been very busy at work. So I haven't had as much free time to be working on my diamond painting in the evenings, because I've been working a bit longer hours trying to make sure I get everything done. And there's some really exciting things going on that I can't talk about, but you guys will see in the future. But yeah, because of all those things happening, I've been working a little extra. So I'm pretty glad that it's now the weekend and that I'm mostly caught up, so I can have a relaxing weekend full of diamond painting, I hope. I would love to make some more progress on this kit and on Herbalist Helper. I have gotten a bit more done on both of them since the last time I did a WIP Chat. So I'm on the fourth row of Satura, and I actually completed the other side of it first, and then I'm working my way inward on this half. And then I've got quite a bit done on Herbalist Helper. I think I only have, maybe 10 sections left on it. So I feel like that one will be done before I know it. It's a bit smaller than this one, and it's rounds, and that always tends to go quicker. And there's a lot of color blocking in it, actually. So I kind of wasn't expecting that, but it's working up really quick. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to replace it with once I get that one done for my round kit that I'll work on. I've been really enjoying having both a round and a square whip to work on, because I'm more of a square person, and so I really look forward to when it's time to work on this kit. But I also love being able to see really quick progress, like on a rounds kit. So being able to alternate between those two things is really fulfilling. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. I'm hoping I'll finish at least one of these before the end of February so that I can have it finished to show you guys. I did finish my other kit that I was working on that's a mystery that I won't show you guys. So now I have to decide if I want to kit up another one like that, or if I want to just stick to these two and try to knock them out. So I'm not quite sure yet. This is moving all over the place, sorry. I'm still really enjoying the spinning the wheel app to decide which whip I'm going to work on for the next section I do, like for each section. it has really motivated me to diamond paint more, and that's not going away so far. So I'm enjoying how much I'm getting done using that system, and I'm enjoying not being lazy and focusing on just whichever one is out, because this forces me to work on whichever one is rolled. So I can't take the easy way out and just say, oh, this is the one that's on my table, so this is the one I'm going to work on. And then that way I would just stick to that one forever. So this is actually helping me to cycle through my multiple WIPs and work on them about equally. Although I've noticed that the app does tend to go through phases of really focusing in on one and rolling that one over and over again. So sometimes it's really exciting when it finally rolls the other one. I'm like, oh, I haven't worked on that in so long. Speaking of deciding things, I have been having a heck of a time trying to figure out what to read next after I finished Crescent City 3. I did talk about this in my last WIP Chat a little bit about how I was undecided and that maybe I'd do a read along with you guys next. And there is some news on that. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I still haven't been able to narrow down a book to read. So in the meantime, I've been listening to some novellas. I did download the Libby app, which is you can borrow audiobooks from your library. And I had never used that before, so I figured out how to download that and get my library card put in and then place holds on books so that when they were available and when it was my turn, I could listen to them. And most of the ones I put in there are ones that I wouldn't necessarily feel like I need to own, like purchasing them in Audible. Especially shorter books that would cost a whole credit on Audible. I kind of feel like it's a waste to do that because if you don't know how Audible works, you pay monthly and you get a certain number of credits each month, and any book that you decide to get costs 1 credit. So if you get a 26-hour epic fantasy book, it's 1 credit, but if you get a 1-hour novella, also 1 credit. And I feel like one of those is a little bit more worth it than the other. So I tend not to purchase short form Audible books. But I did manage to place holds on a couple shorter audiobooks and novellas on Libby. And recently one of those, for the first time, came up and said, hey, you have a book you can check out. So I did that and listened to it. It was an hour-long novella, and it was called And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer. It's a really long title, but it's by Frederick Bachman and was actually written in German, I think, and then translated into English. And you guys, literally one of the most beautiful things I have ever read in my life. I sobbed almost the whole way through. I'm still I'm tearing up just thinking about it now. But I can highly recommend, if you would not get triggered by it, to read it because it's just beautiful. It's kind of it's fiction, but it's about a grandfather who I think he has Alzheimer's, and so he's trying to come to terms with losing his memory, and it has a lot of him talking to his grandson, but it's kind of in his mind a little bit. and then it flashes out into the real world to show how his son is handling losing his father to this disease. And it reminded me a lot of like when my grandpa was passing away, because he was starting to develop those symptoms also. And it's just a really hard thing for a family to go through. And probably, hardest for the person who has to deal with knowing that they're forgetting these important people and events in their lives. And, at the end, that's all you really have is your memories of your experiences. And so if you're left at the end without those, it's like, are you even the same person? And what has your life meant if you don't get to keep those experiences till the end, So it kind of brings up a lot of those questions and feelings in such a beautiful way. Like the writing was so gorgeous. I'd say it's like a life-changing book. So yeah, highly, highly recommend. I know Frederick Bachman has written some longer form stories that now I'm kind of interested in checking out because I really love his writing style. And it's hard to know like how much of his writing style went through the translation. It was beautifully translated either way, but I don't know if like his other books have been translated by the same person or how similar the writing style would be, because it's a translation, so I'm sure there's some subjective choices that are made in what words are chosen and everything. But it's really interesting. So yeah, I know he has some longer form books that I might check out at some point, but that one, highly worth reading. So that was And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer. And then I was doing some research about how to run a read-along, since it looks like I'm going to be doing that here soon. So I was trying to find some YouTube videos on, how that should go and some tips and tricks. And I ran into a YouTube channel called the Stephen King Book Club. And I have read several of Stephen King's work, and some of them I have absolutely loved, and others of them I couldn't even finish. So Stephen King's work is really hit or miss for me. And even if it's a miss, it's usually because it triggers me in some way. Like I'm okay with like the monsters and the horror aspects of things, but some of his books deal more with like real life horrors, like abuse and things like that. And those are the things that I have trouble getting through. So there have been a couple I've had to DNF, like did not finish, just because I couldn't personally handle the content of those. But anyway, getting back to this channel that I found, originally it seems like this channel started out hosting read-alongs. And so I was watching their read-along videos for some of the books by Stephen King that I've actually read, so I could see what kind of things they talked about for each one and how they broke them up and stuff like that. But eventually, it looks like they dropped that aspect of their channel, or at least have taken a break. I couldn't find, like, they were in the middle of a read along and it seems like the videos for that just stopped. So I don't know what happened on that, because the channel's, I think it was like a year old or a year and a half old or something. And it has been several months since the last read-along update on the one they were in the middle of. But now they're posting, like, one of the ones I watched was a first-time read-through of a Stephen King short story, and the person who runs the channel was reading it and then giving his thoughts on what might happen next, or some of the common Stephen King isms that were happening within the story and everything like that. So that was fun. And then there were some other really creative videos on there that I had a lot of fun watching. So if you're a fan of Stephen King, I can recommend that book channel, again called Stephen King Book Club. So I went down a rabbit hole that night and kind of watched a lot of his videos. But then, so because I did that, I started getting a bunch of recommendations on my YouTube homepage for Stephen King audiobooks for free on YouTube. Just people had posted audiobooks there. So I did listen to one there also. It was a short story called 1408. I'll have to say it's not my favorite Stephen King work I've read. It was kind of, I felt it was a little predictable and anticlimactic, but I still enjoyed listening to it. There were several longer books also that I got suggested, and I have a playlist on my channel that I save those to. Like, I save whenever I come across audiobooks on YouTube that I'm interested in reading, I'll save them to that playlist so I can listen to them later. So I have a few saved up now of Stephen King that I might listen to at some point, which is nice because then I don't have to spend an Audible credit to listen to them. And if I'm in the mood for something a little more horror-y, that is not a word, a little darker, we'll say, Stephen King's probably one of my first go-to authors for, like, dark stuff, because I really like his writing style. But yeah, I think I'm ready now to, like, move on from the little novellas and pick a book to read. And so I'll probably do that soon, because I want to try and fit in at least one more book before March, which is when I plan to start our Way of Kings Stormlight Archive read-along, which several of you responded and said that you were interested in joining, so I'm really excited. I went through and I asked to borrow Casey's physical copy of the book so that I could go through and kind of see where the halfway point was as far as page count, and then worked backwards from how long I wanted the read-along to go on for, as to how many chapters we'd have to read each week. So I made a whole schedule, and then one of you suggested I should make a Goodreads group where we could all go and talk about it. So I've done that, and I posted the full schedule as one of the first forum posts on there. So if you would like an invite to the group, I think I can post it in the description, so I'll try to do that. You might have to have a Goodreads account, but that's free. And if you don't want to join the group, that's fine. You can still join the read-along and just watch the weekly videos that I'll be putting out if you want to interact with it that way. As for the weekly videos, they're going to start March 1st, and that'll just be an introduction as to, like, how the read-along will go and the timeline and everything. So March 1st will be the official start. You can definitely start reading before that if you feel like you need extra time. And if you want to talk about it within that Goodreads group, then we could totally make different forum posts for each of the like chapter groupings. I'm not quite sure like how we'll set it up yet, but open to any suggestions you guys might have on that. But yeah, I'll put the link to that in the description, and hopefully that gives everybody enough time to get your hands on either the physical book or a Kindle version or the audiobook. Borrow it from your library, however you plan to consume it. And I'm a little concerned because I know that if for people who have never read any Brandon Sanderson before, it can be kind of a big jump to jump right into his epic fantasy series that has like 1,200 pages or something and is a little bit slow to start because he has to set everything up in that first book. So I'm hoping I'm not going to turn anybody off of Brandon Sanderson by jumping you right in with his most intense series. But hopefully if people just keep that in mind, if they figure out that this one is not for them, they could go back and start one of his other shorter series first and then kind of get used to his writing style and stuff. But yeah, I hope everyone will give it a chance and maybe love it as much as I do. I'd love to create some new Cosmere fans if I can. And I'm really excited to read these books again because for me it has been several years at this point since I read The Way of Kings. And it's even been a few years since I read the most recent, the fourth book in the series. So I'm definitely due for a reread because of that fifth book coming out this year in December. So I'm excited to be getting started on that so that I can be all caught up by then. But yeah, guys, I don't really have that much else to update you on at this point, I think, because it's been kind of just a work-filled week for me, and I can't really talk about a lot of what was going on at work, so not much else happened. But I bet you can probably guess what I didn't do if you watched my video from last week. I did not manage to get myself down to the DMV and get my license renewed, so I really have to do that next week. I just keep talking myself out of it, like, no, I'm too tired today. I can do that later. And eventually there's going to be a point where there won't be any more later. My license will expire if I don't hurry up and go get that done. So I'm just going to have to force myself to do it next week if I can. I can and must. Part of it is I kind of feel like I need to get a haircut and stuff before I go in, because if it's going to be my license picture for the next 8 years or however long it lasts, then I shouldn't look like a ragamuffin. So maybe I'll do that this weekend and go get a haircut and try to look at least somewhat presentable. It's been a long time since I cut my hair, so it definitely needs it. So anyway, guys, I cannot think of anything else to update you on, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go and get this edited and scheduled to go up on Sunday. So I will see you all next week. I hope you have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everybody.